right. How are we feeling after this second tie?
Looks like we're doing 2024 all over again.
Yeah. Oh my God. Uh, I thought you said San Diego was not going to be a problem.
Hey, hey,
You had sound reasoning. Everything you
yeah,
said in our family group chat made sense. And then it just turned out to not happen that way.
San Diego, I think I talked about a lot last episode. So for everybody who's watching this great show, I won't bore you and talk about it again for as long, but a bunch of their market value is pretty much in three players, Dreyer, Lozano, and then their other attacker,
Right, right.
which I think you could definitely see that game because they were kind of like dogging us that whole game,
I
honestly, up
know.
front.
I know.
Um, so I didn't think they were going to be that good. I thought we were going to be able to, as long as we were able to hold them off at forward, we'd be able to break through their defense because they couldn't be that good. And then that just did not happen at all.
No.
So my guess was wrong. I will say, tying away on their club's home opener in front of like 30 or 40,000 fans would be a crazy thing to be like super pissed off at. So I'm not
So you're
upset by
calling me
that game.
crazy.
No, 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 not you.
Well, I'm super pissed off
Everyone.
about it.
Well,
Need to win a
I want to
goddamn
hear.
game, dude. I'm
It's the
frustrated.
second game of the season.
I
We're
know,
chilling.
I know, I know. We got plenty of time. Oh, I was confused with the lineup, I guess, the strategy.
That's fair.
It was weird. Because we initially started with a 5-3 and then like a 2-1 up top. And or no, I'm sorry, it was a 4-3-2-1 Christmas tree. And then it
Yeah.
transitioned to the 5 back. And it was
Yeah,
just
we ended up with five dudes in the back, which maybe we needed, I guess you could argue, because we were just taking
yeah.
it up the butt. But I mean,
Yeah. We didn't get scored on.
that's true. I will say, of all things, like, even though maybe it didn't feel like it, I think defensively we did pretty good last night. The fact that they were in our third for that long
Hmm.
and they didn't score a single goal and only had one shot on target against Berkey,
I know.
kind of insane.
I think they had 30 corners, so I'm surprised they didn't get
Something
one.
like that.
Yeah, obviously not 30, but it's
Yeah, they
an
had nine
outrageous
corners to
amount.
R0.
Yes, dude. What the hell? I
I
was
didn't
getting
even realize we
frustrated.
didn't have none. That's kind of crazy.
I know. Last year we were the corner kings. Or not, sorry,
Yeah, that was
first year.
yeah,
We scored a ton off corners. We got them all the time. It was nice.
yeah. So I guess maybe what we can do is kind of look at a bit of a breakdown of the game and what happened for anybody who like didn't watch it or necessarily pay that close of attention.
Hmm.
Um, Pretty much what happened is St. Louis from the get-go was just on defense and trying to shut
Dude,
down their long ball passes
yeah.
immediately, and that kind of never stopped.
The whole game, man. It was
Yeah,
outrageous.
I can put it up in post, but FotMob, it's like a stats website that kind of just looks at games in like a more, I guess, analytical view, and they have this momentum chart that they
Yeah.
calculate. It's insane. Like I remember the announcers, they showed their momentum chart, and they were like, "Hey, your phone is not broken. That's actually real." Because there's like no red. It's all San Diego.
Ugh.
And usually when you see that, it's not necessarily true because every team has like sparks during a game, but it felt like that last night.
It
There
really
was
did.
not a moment where I was like, we are controlling this game.
No, we never felt even like a part of the conversation. It was just,
Yeah.
oof, getting talked over the whole time, man. Brutal. Brutal.
They're like it was kind of insane. Like I got to a point where I was just like, this is like ridiculous. Their long forward crosses, they were spamming that because they kept getting like
Hmm.
chances with it and they weren't able to finish obviously, but like it was just ridiculous. They were so good at them and they just kept getting the ball.
They were looking like us last week, where plenty of shots, just
Mm,
couldn't actually do anything with it.
yeah. Uh, there's I was looking at the stats last night and this stat. was insane to me. So we had 2 shots last night. They had 15, so pretty dominating performance by them. But the most insane thing is that both of our shots were on target. They had 1 shot on target.
That is crazy. 100% accuracy ain't bad. And one of those
They
shots, I
had,
believe, was Klaus, right?
I think so. I think it was Klaus and oh my God, how am I forgetting this? He played really well last night. Watts.
Oh yeah. Oh
Watts' show was
man,
pretty good actually.
man. I kept saying it in the moment, but because I haven't seen him up top. You know what I mean? So when
Yeah,
he
we even see him as like an offensive force.
yeah
Honestly, I feel like.
when he was in the position and recognized like, hey, I can shoot here, and he did, and it was on target. It was a great shot. I was so
Hmm.
happy with him because there's a lot of players that'll be like, oh, I don't normally do this, little insecure about when to pull the trigger. He just did it,
Yeah,
and it was great.
and it was so good for that game because nobody was doing that,
Hmm.
and I wonder if maybe that's kind of why he had the confidence because it was like, damn, if our actual offense guys aren't going to take a damn shot, maybe I will,
Maybe I'll
and
step
I'm
up and
glad he
do
did.
something. Oh, it was outrageous, man. But shout out Kessler. Holy cow! What a phenomenal
Yeah,
game from
I
him.
he was like, I know we had 5 dudes in the back, so he had a bit more help this game, I guess, but
Yeah.
he
But
just
he
had
was
it
running
on
the
lock.
field. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
locking it down, keeping them out. It was good. I really
he's been
appreciated
growing
his
on me.
performance. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Him being like, because we traded him for oh my God, Parker,
Right.
and obviously that upset a lot of people for good reason because Parker was a great dude, and
Yeah.
it sounded like he really wanted to be in St. Louis. Actually, I brought this up with you, the Onside show. I don't know if you've watched it yet,
I
but
haven't had a chance to yet.
it's really good. MLS came out with a show called Onside, and basically they'd look at different rivalries throughout the league, and then they kind of go into each of those teams and look at some of the like behind the scenes of certain situations. And they really followed Parker's whole like journey with St. Louis, which was really cool because we kind of got some insight that like he's been in MLS forever. He called himself like an MLS journeyman. He's kind of just thrown around the league, and he's getting to an age where he doesn't really want to do that, and he wants
Yeah.
to kind of like settle down somewhere. And it sounded like he really wanted to do that in St. Louis. Their family, they bought a house,
Wow.
they had their kid here, and they were gonna like raise him here. And
Yeah.
then he gets called into the office and is told, "Hey, you're going to Boston,"
Hey, we know you're our
which.
best player on defense, but gosh, we really want to make a dumb decision. So,
But I'll say, as shitty as that is, like on a personal level, I guess to do,
yeah,
I think it has kind of paid off, unfortunately, with regards to our lineup because Kessler's been really good and he's
yeah,
also way younger,
that's true. He's no
which is kind of
Parker
like
yet.
the yeah, I'll agree with that. The reason why that is because they said that a bunch of like his stats and like how he plays, his numbers are very similar to Parker, but he's way younger, so they could maybe get a lot more with that.
Makes
And so, I
sense.
mean, I understand the move.
Yeah, I'm mostly just kidding because Parker's my boy, but oh well.
Rest in peace. Am I wearing the Parker jersey right now?
Yeah,
Boom.
I
Rest in
got
peace,
mine
King.
too, but I got the sorry, city red. I was gonna say pink. Whatever.
Yeah, it's not pink, buddy.
I don't know why we're so insistent on being city red. Pink is fine.
Yeah, I actually do. Red is such an overused color, so
I
like even
know.
though we aren't really like a red, pink is fine. I think the reason why they're doing that is because like Miami was kind of like the pink team because like in
Yeah, but
sports that's a really rare color scheme, and then in Miami kind of like try to take it,
yeah,
and they do it really well. But
I think it's hideous.
really, you don't like it?
Oh my god. We'll get into that when we do our
I
tier
guess
list, but I think that jersey looks so cheap and so
that
ugly.
I agree with that. I like the colorway. I don't think I like the recent jerseys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which you just spoiled it, dude.
Oh, sorry.
We're
Yeah.
gonna
Coming up.
be
Coming up.
we're probably gonna try and do like a 2025 MLS jersey tier ranking because that'd be kind of like a fun little video to do and a
Yeah.
fun little way to like look at the other teams in the league, not
And
just focus on St. Louis.
spoiler, ours will be not number one, even close.
Really?
Whatever. This year, hell no.
Yeah, ours is pretty rough. We still haven't played it in them, have we?
uh,
No, no, we did. I'm done. It was our first
yeah, I
game.
was gonna say
We're at
first
home.
game. I think we did.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, that we'll talk about
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
it.
I don't know. I know first week I was really harping on the we can't get a good ball in. All of our crosses are terrible. Like once we get that down, we'll have great shots. Well, if you don't even get a fucking chance to cross the ball in, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm just
they just had
so
us on lockdown.
yeah, and I feel like we just had no presence in the midfield, so we couldn't make that transition up the field at all
Hmm.
because half the team is on defense.
Yeah,
So I like
I
again, we
think
didn't get
they.
scored on. I understand, but there was no like further plan. Were we only trying to tie? Like I hate that this may
I
be
think
our
that's.
mentality.
I think that in this game specifically was our mentality
I
because,
yeah.
and once
Hopefully,
again, I'm gonna keep saying it. I sound like a broken record, but like this was a really crazy game to go into,
yeah.
and so I bet Olaf was probably just like, "Fuck, let's just tie it, get a point and leave." But
Sure, fair enough.
I understand how that's like obviously annoying though, especially
It's
when you only
just
have two shots all game.
and like I said, like obviously it's a good thing that we got a point on the road at the biggest debut of this year for a team. It's just a PTSD from last year. I can't keep seeing 0-0.
Yeah, I
Like
get
it's
that.
going to kill me.
MLS posts all the game results in like an Instagram post every week, and they put like the boring games at the end. I think we've been at the end both weeks now because we're just a
Yeah.
0-0 tie.
Yes. It's I
It's
don't
kind
know.
of funny.
Like I
I
said,
will say,
I cannot have a
I
repeat
think
of next year. I'm gonna lose my mind.
no, no. I'm hoping we don't. I don't think we will, and I'm pretty optimistic about it. But if we do, I will be very upset.
I know. Well, going into this whole season, I my prediction was okay. We have about 10,000 strikers on the roster. We are gonna have some
Goal
very
scoring machine.
volatile. Yeah, like sure we're gonna get scored on a lot, but we're gonna be putting up numbers too. So it's gonna
Mm,
be like who's got the bigger gun. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
so far, not a single fucking goal. So my prediction was wrong.
I wonder how many shots we had last game.
Last game, I thought it
We
was
actually did have a
17.
lot.
It was like
So
outrageous.
we're averaging like 10 shots a game. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but
If you look
how
at it
many
like
of
that.
them were on target in the past two games?
That might be a lot lower,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
a lot lower actually. I mean, 100% accuracy this past week, but
That's
the
pretty
week
good.
before, that is pretty good though.
Yeah. Um, I think the soccer gods, as much as it didn't feel like it, were on our side last night because
Yeah,
Chucky Lozano got taken out in like the 30th because it looked like he pulled a hammy or something. If he
yep,
didn't get pulled out, I'm sure we don't win that game.
yeah,
They were
probably.
feeding the ball constantly when he was on there, and he
Yep.
kept having so many chances. So if he was there for another hour, at least one would have gone in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
there was a
shout out
couple.
his hamstring.
Yeah, fuck you, lasagna. Get out of here.
Stupid
Nah.
ass Lozano.
I I was getting a little frustrated with Betcher this game.
Me too.
I don't know if you had the
Betcher
same
and I
feeling.
don't know if you saw how Torshire was doing either, but I didn't really think either of them did that good.
Well, I didn't notice T-shirt, so maybe that's better than my feelings on Betcher right now. Because
Hmm.
I mean, first game I was all for him. I was like, yeah, man, like you're putting in the crosses and shots. Like I really like this. I appreciate it. I want to see more. This game, dude, it just felt like very early Klaus. It's like,
Yeah.
that moment when the other team's defense has the ball and they're kind of passing it around, moving the ball, trying to find an opening. Well, he's
Hmm.
just kind of walking around. And I'm like, it's 0-0, pal. This is your job. What are you doing? Let's start moving those
Yeah.
feet. Come on. And then they take him out, so it's like, what were you were just wasting time. I don't know, just standing around. If you I don't know. You should.
Yeah, I don't think any of them really performed that well up there, and I think Betcher is a perfect example of it. It just there was no like creativity or like
Yeah.
not even creativity. It didn't have to be pretty. It just had to be something, and there
Hmm.
wasn't anything.
And I just felt like that intensity, like especially the early German style we had, like at the beginning, like they were
Mm,
just constantly full press, pedal to the
yeah,
floor all the time, and it just I didn't feel that at all from our offense specifically.
which I wonder if that's. I'm wondering if that's just because of a different play style that Olaf is bringing in,
It
or if it
could
was
be.
because like everybody was just so defeated so early.
Yeah, but like how do you go into a game like with that mentality? Like you're already on the back foot, like mentally, without even
Yeah.
stepping on the grass. Like, come on.
A fun stat is that Toy Shirt, he was in there for half the game, 45 minutes.
Yeah,
And guess how many passes he had?
none.
Two.
Oh, that's right. I did
He
see that
he
stat.
touched the ball twice that whole game.
Golly, man.
It's just
That's
rough. And I
why I
mean,
didn't
Betcher was
notice
in
him.
there for an hour, so he was on there even longer, and he had way more, but he still only had 11 passes. Like he
Yeah,
touched the ball 11 times in that whole game.
it's just like I don't know, waste of time. Like, what? Why are you on the field if you're
Yeah.
not gonna do a damn thing? Why are you on the field? I don't know.
Should have just put six in the back.
Fuck it, dude. It's not like they're doing anything up top. Let's just stand in a wall in front of the net and
Hey
just
man, it worked.
hope for 90 minutes. Oh, golly.
I um I don't know if you like there's a lot of confusion around it, but I don't know if you noticed what happened at the end with Hebert.
Oh, yeah, his contact fell out. And he got a
Yeah,
yellow
so
card.
what happened was he goes down or whatever because his contact falls out and he can't see.
Yeah.
And so the ref sees that and thinks, "Oh, he must be hurt. Let's do concussion protocol." So he's told to leave the field, and when that happens, the idea is that a player is probably going to say, "No, I'm fine," but in reality they might have a concussion, so you have to force him off the field. And so he's being told to go, and he goes back down again because he's like trying to fix something naturally. And then he gets a yellow card for that. And I'm like, he's not hurt. He's not concussed. He just can't see, dude. And we
Referee's
get a
an
yellow card
idiot.
and we're out of a player for like the final like 3 minutes. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is insane.
God. And now we just have that yellow. Like, you got to hold that and hope that
Yeah,
it doesn't happen again next game.
because if you get yellow card accumulation, then you're just out, which
Mm-hmm.
is they were throwing yellows out last night. A
They
lot of
were.
them were stupid.
They
I
were.
did not agree with. There was one on I think it was either Leuven or Wallum, and I was just like, in what world is that? It was a foul I could see,
Right.
and even then, if it was at home, I think it would be more of a questionable. Do you call that or not? That's how like not that serious it was, and he got a yellow card for it. And I'm
I
like, you
know.
have to be kidding me, bro.
It
And
was.
even I will say, at least he was doing it to both sides because a lot of guys on San Diego got them too. Maybe unfairly, I don't know, but I just don't really like it when refs are like, let me see how many yellow cards I can give out today.
I'm starting to wonder if maybe that's like their new protocol, I guess, moving forward. Because I watched the Kansas City game against the Quakes as well.
Okay.
That started like 2 hours earlier.
Hmm.
And they got a bunch of cards thrown around in that game. Actually, the
Really?
Quakes got a red at like the
Yeah, they played with like
60th
an
minute or
hour or something,
something.
right?
I don't think it was quite that long. I thought it was
Okay.
second half, but I can't remember.
You're
But yeah,
probably right. I mean,
they
I
were
didn't watch
down a
it.
man for a long time, and I mean Kansas City's so damn bad they still lost, and they only scored
That's
because of a
brutal.
PK, which the goalie almost saved, by the way.
Really?
Yes, but
I didn't
yeah,
see that.
I'm starting to think like maybe they're gonna open that book up a little more and start handing out cards because there was a lot. I
I
mean, it
just
got to
don't
the
know how to
point where
feel
there was
about
a
that.
red. I don't like it. I don't like it. I
I feel like
always
you can just let them play, and then if it gets to a point where it's like, oh, this is physically escalating,
right,
let me put a yellow to be like, hey, I will kick you out if you
right.
keep doing this. And
I've
I think that's how you're
always
supposed to use it.
Yeah, I've always had that let them play mentality. I always appreciate a ref that is more there to be like, hey, come on, instead of like,
Yeah.
you're going to play by my rules and I'm going to run the field. Like,
Because they try and make it a show about themselves as
Yeah.
opposed to like the players who are being paid who knows how much money to play the game,
Hmm.
and it's like a weird power trip thing.
It has to be
I just
because they don't have any power at the hot dog stand during the week. You know what I mean?
I wonder how much MLS refs get paid, honestly.
Hopefully nothing. They're awful.
We should go back to the scab refs. That was so much better. That's a joke.
I know.
I hated
I know. That was
that.
horrible, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I kind of wish we had gotten to see Pompeo a bit earlier.
Oh man, I know.
I didn't think we were even gonna see him because I haven't been like looking too far into it. I don't know how he still like is because like
Right.
for people who don't remember, he like his foot was like removed last year basically in the game. It was like pretty much pointing in the same like direction, like parallel with his leg.
That was
It was
disgusting.
disgusting. And so he's been like recovering that for a while. And I don't know if he's like 100% or not, but putting him in the 86, just like I don't get why. It's not like you're giving him a chance to really do anything.
No.
You're maybe just risking him getting hurt if he's still recovering.
Right.
And it's the 86th minute. There's 4 minutes left. It's
Yeah.
just goofy to me. I don't
Yeah.
get it.
And it's not enough time, and it's the wrong situation to really see if he's able to compete. Like it doesn't. It
Yeah,
gives you no information. It's just.
it is a pretty rough game to get subbed into with 4 minutes
Yeah.
left.
No kidding. I was watching with my buddy Anthony, and he was reading the squad list, and he said Pompeo's name, and I was like, "Oh shit! Like fuck yeah, dude, we're gonna get to watch him play." And he's like, "Oh no, he's a sub. They might play him." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh, bummer." And
rip.
then I'm like, "Oh, we're 80 minutes in, 85 minutes in. Like, we're not gonna see him." And then of course they call him in. I'm like, what are we doing? Why didn't you do this 20 minutes ago when he could
Gonna
have
get a
done
goal, dude.
something? Ugh, I don't know. They put Klaus on. Honestly, I think that was the right decision because I mean at that point Betcher wasn't going to do anything. So
There were a couple plays that Klaus, I think, at least one or two, where he tried to make something. I mean, he got a shot off on one at least,
it's
which is
better
more
than
than,
everybody else.
yeah. He did fine. It was nothing like special,
Right.
obviously. It did, I don't know. It was a game.
Yeah. Nothing I'm too proud of, but still happy we didn't lose.
I kind of so I'm just this like fascinates me,
What's
but
that?
I'm looking at like more of the stats.
Oh yeah.
So they had 702 passes. We
Jesus,
had 280. That's less than half.
dude. Is that
And
even a
so
quarter?
so in their own half they had 300. We had 150ish in our half. But in opposition's half, this is how many passes they had in our half of the field. They had 319 compared to
Jeez,
our
dude.
60. Like
Sixty.
this is such a game of like us on defense. And I feel like the passing alone just shows it perfectly.
Yeah. Holy cow.
'Cause touches inside opposition's box, they had 35, we had 7, which honestly 7 even surprises me. I did
Yeah.
not think we were in there enough for
Honestly,
us to get 7 touches in there.
I don't remember being over there.
Yeah, exactly. I thought our only shots were like from outside the box.
Well, the only reason we saw that side of the field is because we switched sides at half. Like, holy
Yeah.
shit. It's insane.
Pretty insane. We had 39 clearances though to their like 16.
Wow.
So it
Okay.
was a good thing.
I just, like, why? Why did this happen?
I I
Is it
really
because we
do think
packed the
San Diego
back
must just
line?
be good, I guess.
But I just, I don't understand. Like, did they play in LA when they played Galaxy the first week?
Hmm.
Okay, maybe that, but it's so close. I
There's a
just,
big rivalry there, though. Like, not between the teams, obviously, because they're so new, but like geographically.
yeah, makes sense. I'm trying to figure out how you can, like, they beat Galaxy, sure, but it wasn't like this. They
Yeah,
didn't play
I
like
didn't get the
this.
vibe that it was like that.
Like, I just don't understand what changed, what shifted. Like, is home field advantage that crazy?
It might be, especially with the stadium like that.
Because if it is, I'm calling bomb threats to other team stadiums so we don't have to play there.
in Minecraft.
I'm playing at home every time I can. This is ridiculous.
Their stadium held 35,000 people, and I think it was sold out,
Wow.
which is kind of insane.
Yeah. They're playing in a football stadium though, aren't they?
Yeah, Snapdragon. I think it's
That's
where like
right.
San Diego State plays
Yeah.
or like played. I don't know.
Embarrassing.
I don't know if they have plans of getting like a like stadium soon. I don't know what is up with that. Because that was a big thing with MLS is they were always like all the new uh, expansion teams are making. They need to have a stadium like situation planned and ready to go or already done by the time they're in the league. So,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they have that. I kind of want to look into that now.
It would be neat. I don't
They,
know.
I mean, they need one eventually. We can't be playing in football stadiums forever.
I know. This is ridiculous, man.
I can't believe Boston. They were one of the first teams, the Rev, and they've been playing in Gillette Stadium where the Patriots play forever,
Really?
which is insane because it's like I could talk about that forever. It's like a huge football stadium, so it's obviously a horrible atmosphere. It's also in
Yeah.
Foxborough or something like that, which is just like super far from Boston. So it's like not like a easy drive just to go to the stadium.
Yeah.
It's just a horrible L team. They've been to the MLS Cup like 4 times. I think they've lost every time,
Well, that makes
which is
sense.
kind of brutal.
Yeah. No kidding. I just.
I didn't notice this until you brought it up to me after we kind of called a little bit after the game, and um, apparently the announcers were talking about it. There was some discriminatory behavior.
Oh yeah, the racist San Diego fans, or
I
I forget what the chant actually was, but
looked it up and I saw some people talking about it, and I think it's a chant that whenever the U.S. and Mexico teams play, the Mexican fans start chanting it to us, and they like kind of are getting cracked down on by FIFA now. But I'm not gonna say it because I'm pretty sure it's a slur, and that's why it's not chill to say. But it's like a slur for like a gay prostitute, I think, and they're calling our goalkeeper that when they kick it,
wow.
and so they're just like doing that. I guess that's like
To be honest with you,
something they're gonna have to deal with.
I didn't even hear it
I
until
didn't
the
either.
announcers started talking about it. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And I'm wondering if because with the Mexico versus U.S. men's national team, they usually do, and the goalie is like about to kick the ball up after it like went out of bounds. And I don't know if that's what was happening this game, but if it was, that's hilarious because there was one point where Berkey kind of like psyched them out, like he went to kick it, stopped, and you could hear them like scream something really quick, and then he backed up and like tried to kick it again. It was so funny because I was like, later I was like, I wonder if he was like trying to like toy with
Just
them.
messing with the fans. Yeah, it's a good look, San
Yeah.
Diego. Good job there. Yeah,
Which
no.
is so interesting because MLS is like, if you look at the 5 big leagues in the U.S., MLS is kind of like more of the like I guess liberal one you could say. It's very like pro diversity and all that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of studies that have like gone into it, but MLS is like the youngest fan base and the most like liberal.
It's because
And
there's
so I'll be
hardly any
really
Americans. They better be diverse.
so I'm wondering like how that's gonna go down. How like San Diego is gonna have to like be like, yo guys, we cannot do that at our games.
I don't know what they're gonna do. It's kind of hard to lock down on that. You know what I mean?
Super hard. When you have 35,000 people chanting it, you
Yeah.
can't just be like, hey guys, can we not?
Yeah. And then there's
Like they're
probably
not gonna
people
listen to you.
there that like don't know what it means, but they're hearing their team chant it, so they're like, "Oh, I guess I'll
Yeah.
join in." Just don't know what they're saying.
There's some like white soccer mom from San Diego driving her kids in and they're screaming like a gay slur.
Man, it's good job, San
Pretty
Diego.
crazy.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
And you know what? You'll never be the best expansion team in history
Yeah,
because you didn't get 5 wins to start the season.
true. They, yeah, I saw that stat pop up and I was like, "Oh shit, like we were the other one."
Yeah.
And then they didn't win, so still got
We
that
are Officially
best
the
start
best.
for an expansion team, baby. Let's go. Keep it up.
The Chicago Fire did win the MLS Cup their first year, but there were also only like 4 teams in the league back then, so that doesn't even count.
Well, and I think
Chicago doesn't claim that.
they they better not, dude. Because like the people in the MLS back then were like cleaning pools during the day and playing soccer at
Yeah.
night. It's crazy to count that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They don't even claim the Chicago Fire to begin with, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
They don't care about that team at all.
It's
I had a
crazy
buddy.
to name the team the Chicago Fire.
I don't know if it came out like because I know there's a show, but I think it's like not in memory, but they did it because of the actual Chicago Fire, which is kind of
I
funny.
know. It's like uh, the Haitian earthquakes. Like what are we
Yeah.
doing here? That's insane.
It's funny though, because whenever you look up Chicago Fire, I think the show comes up before the team.
Really?
Because like there have been times where I'm like trying to like look something up, and I'm like, this is just not what I was looking for.
Wow, that's not great.
But I had a buddy. He's in like a business frat, and he went up there for like an expo or something, and they got some time to like just visit the city, look around. So they go into like some sporting areas, and they find like merch for every Chicago team imaginable,
That's cool.
except for Chicago Fire, and he could not find
Really?
anything.
Wow.
Yeah, they're just such a like bad franchise. The owners need to love it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Pretty chill.
Going
But I don't
back
know.
to St. Louis City, I just had this thought that I'm like, okay, if our mentality is going to be like, this team is scary, let's just tie them, then we need to beat teams like Colorado.
Yeah,
We can't tie them. We,
at home.
yes, at home. Like that's outrageous. If this is what we're gonna play like during the difficult ones, the teams that are good, then we gotta beat the ones that we can beat, and we gotta beat them bad.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'm really interested to see how Galaxy goes next week
Yeah,
because I don't even remember. I think we're playing away, and
probably.
Galaxy is not as good of a team as they were last year. They lost a couple of their like key dudes. Ricky Puig, he's like been their like best player for. He was like a Madrid player or something like that, or I think it was Barcelona actually. Um, and so he's been their best player forever. He got hurt the game before the final last year, and he's still hurt. And then they sold their like second best dude to Kansas City over the offseason. So I I'm hoping that we can go in there and at least get a tie, which would prefer not to. But I think we can go in there and win if we clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think we can too. I think we can beat these teams. Like even San Diego, I feel like we have the ability to. I think we were just not on the same page. Like it's just
Yeah,
it felt like a totally different team. I'm just so confused at the
it did compared
difference.
to like last week. Are you
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week we were San Diego.
Mm.
Like what changed? I just it's so weird to me. I don't know.
It did kind of just like swap for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
I was super upset because I put $4 on City to win in Fifth and I lost it all. I would have won $21.
Damn. Lost it
It's a damn
all.
shame.
Uh yeah. I banned myself from betting on City because the first year there was a couple times that we'd drive across the river over to Illinois and place a bet or
Yeah.
two. And every single time, I did it like 3, 4 times maybe. Every single time, what a historic loss! This horrible tie. This is never before seen in the MLS
Wasn't the
history.
first game you bet on the Minnesota game where we lost our first game?
I think so. And it's like, what an incredible underdog story. Congratulations to whoever. Like, god damn it. Every time. So I'd
You're a
stopped.
bad omen.
I know. It's like either give ourselves the chance to win or guarantee a loss, basically, if I bet. So I just stopped. I can't do it anymore.
That's funny.
I care about my
I don't know
team
if you
winning
noticed
more
this,
than losing
but
money.
Well, you gotta hedge it. You gotta bet on the other team to win. So if we win,
I didn't think about that. Maybe I'll just
yeah,
bet
we
on the other team to win every time, and my bad
you
luck will
should.
transfer there.
We might win the whole like league if you do
Okay,
that.
okay. That's an interesting concept there.
Yeah, kind of smart. Me and my buddies, we were just like watching a bunch of like games yesterday. There was like a bunch of good basketball on, and for some reason, a bunch of MLS games were on like DirecTV.
Really?
It was so surprising. Yeah, there was like the Atlanta Charlotte game. Uh, our game was, I'm pretty sure.
I think they've been
It was
putting
weird.
a few of them out there just as like feelers to see if like, hey, there'd be something you might
Yeah,
be interested in. Get Apple TV.
which I like.
Yeah.
I
I
know
think they need
everything's
to
kind of
make
going
it
towards
more
streaming.
clear that like
Hmm.
you don't have to have Apple TV and the MLS season pass. I didn't know
Yeah,
that at first, so I was paying for Apple TV and the pass, which
that's funny.
obviously they want you to do that, but I don't know. I feel like if they made it more clear, then people would be like, "Oh, well, I'll just pay for this then. I don't need all this other shit."
Yeah. I wish they also would do some like cheaper plan where you just pay to see the games of one team specifically, because a lot of people don't care about every game. They
Yeah,
just want to see like their team play,
there's a
and
lot
they
of
are
like,
willing to pay $100. But
yeah.
if you could pay like I don't know 20 or 30 just to see one team the whole season, that'd be way better.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Because yeah, there's a lot of teams that I'm never gonna watch unless
Yeah.
we're playing them, you know.
Hmm.
So like Charlotte, where the fuck is Charlotte? I will never watch a Charlotte game unless we're playing them. Like there's no reason for me to do that. There's
Dude, the
nobody on that
Charlotte fans
team.
are not gonna like that.
All three of them. Like what the hell? Yeah, it's just
They're another team that still plays in their football stadium.
that's
I think
crazy,
it's
isn't it?
like Bank of America Stadium or something. They actually get a lot of people into it, but it's still just like it's too big. Like I think they
Hmm.
fill the whole bottom bowl usually, and then like part of the top bowl. But it's just a football stadium for like 80,000 people. So it's
Yeah,
like you're not gonna fill that every game for an MLS team.
you just need an atmosphere where it feels like it's packed and like
Yeah.
everybody's ready to go. But yeah, if you look up and there's another 30,000 seats empty, it's kind of a downer. Like I don't know.
Even if you have like 50,000 people there, you know.
Yeah, I know
And they
exactly what you mean.
also they like set the fans at least on the top bowl to all sit on one side so that the camera shows them specifically so it looks packed, but then you have like half of the entire stadium on the other side literally completely empty. So it's just
That's
like the
yeah.
funniest looking thing.
It's gotta look weird, man. I don't know. I don't get it. Nashville
I
was
like City
cool.
Park and
I love
I
City Park.
I love it. It could be a little bit bigger, and I think they've actually talked about maybe doing that in a
Yeah,
couple of years, and that would be awesome. I would love that because I think we could still fill it, obviously.
yeah. What is it? 22,000, I believe.
It's like 22 or 23 right now or something like that. And
Yeah.
then there was like I read this article where there was like one area where they could have put like a huge TV screen in, but they put like a way smaller one in or something because they were like in a couple of years if we're still selling out, we'll probably add some seats here to make it a bit bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I love that stadium. To me right now the perfect size because it will always be packed, and
Yeah.
you can see perfectly from literally anywhere in the stadium.
Hmm.
So like, I don't know. It's just you can't have a bad time. It's great.
I definitely am looking forward to trying to go to a couple games in the summer.
Hell yeah, dude. We should go. Be
But
fun.
Nashville Stadium is really cool too, and I
Yeah,
think that's
yeah,
like 30,000.
yeah. I think that one's 30,000. We one of my friends was working down there. Last year, year before maybe. I can't remember. But we went down to visit him. Visited Nashville. Saw a game, and that was when Mukhtar scored 3 times on us. I
Yeah,
was
the
so
Mukhtar hat
mad.
trick on us.
I was so mad. We scored twice, I think, and Mukhtar scored three. So
Really?
you get rid of him, and we win that game. But
That's funny.
we had a great time. It was a lot of fun. You can like tailgate on an old NASCAR racetrack, and then head on into the game. It was fun.
We our family we went down there for the Mizzou Iowa bowl game,
Yeah.
and we kind of drove over to the stadium just to check it out. And it's really interesting because like it's not in the downtown area, which at first a lot of the times kind of sucks because that usually means it's out in the middle of nowhere, like outside of the city, to be like way
Right.
cheaper. But I feel like they do it in a pretty good way where it's like it's almost like in a neighborhood and they've got this like little commercial district that they've built up next to it, so it
Hmm.
doesn't feel like we just found some cheap land. It feels like,
Yeah.
oh, we're making this like a little separate area, which is kind of cool.
Well, in the area around like the neighborhoods you're talking about, they go nuts
Hmm.
for it. So like when we went to the game, there's everybody's outside and they're like, "Hey, $20, you can park on our lawn." Like we're down the street from the stadium, $20, park on the lawn, hang out.
That's awesome.
Everyone's outside, everyone's getting ready for the game. It was so cool. Like it was really neat and a good
It
vibe.
was funny driving up because like literally you're driving through like what feels almost like neighborhoods, and then
Yeah.
it feels like a very European thing where it's like neighborhoods and then oh there's just a huge soccer stadium right there.
And the racetrack. Literally
Yeah,
a NASCAR racetrack.
so
It's
goofy.
crazy. It was fun though.
Cool though, I like it.
Yeah, it's different. It's definitely different from ours, but still good.
I think ours is cool. I just wish there were more places to like tailgate or something, which I know isn't always like the experience that teams are trying to go for. Like Bush, you don't
Right,
really tailgate for Bush for
right.
the Cardinals, but like
But you got
Kansas
Ballpark
City,
Village, so you can kind of get that experience. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like just a place to hang out, get
hmm,
drunk, eat good food, and then go to the game.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I think City tried to kind of do that with like the City Pavilion, and it's a cool area, but it's like
so
it's
small.
not the same. Yeah, it's very small. It also feels like not that it's a bad thing, but it's super like family focused, I feel like.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
probably not going to get drunk as hell on the City Pavilion.
yeah. I think it would be fine to have a mix, like that park right across the street. You could set up like just an area for
Mm,
families, like have little booths and food trucks and stuff, and like make it a party for the first couple hours before the game, and
yeah.
then you got that bar across the street for the guys that want to get drunk and hang out, and
Yeah, yeah.
you
What
kind
is
of
that called?
um, I can't remember now.
Can't believe I'm forgetting that right now.
Well, there's the
Yeah, I want to
pitch,
go there
but
though.
that's not what I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay. I think I was thinking of the pitch maybe.
Hmm. But
It's a cool area though.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm less and less hopeful for the future.
I want to see who we play because it feels like we've had sort of a kind of an evil start to the season, honestly.
What do you mean by
I
that?
want to like we're playing Colorado, which isn't a bad team. We're playing San Diego in their home opener all time, which is like
That is tough.
a difficult game. Galaxy, I don't know. I know I'm saying all these things about how them like they aren't that good, but that's also based off of 2 games now, so I don't know if I'm like,
Well, yeah, we can't really know about anything, but your best
yeah.
guess is your best guess, you know?
Hmm. I want to see like who we're playing after that then.
I can't imagine them being the same team as they were last year.
No,
I
they're not
don't,
gonna be.
yeah, I don't see them succeeding in that way, but you never know.
Yeah, we play Seattle at home after Galaxy and then Philadelphia. Both of those kind of suck low key because those are both actually pretty good teams.
You know, at least Seattle's at home.
Yeah, that's true. Philadelphia apparently is because I think they were kind of rocky last year, and apparently they've made some pretty good moves, and they're
Okay.
actually doing really good now. They fired their like coach Jim Curtin for some reason, even though he was like an incredible coach,
Hmm.
and it was like a whole like controversy last season.
Isn't that
It
where
was
did
funny.
Cardell go?
He went to Philadelphia,
Okay,
so he's
that's
there
what I
now.
thought. Yeah. So they're doing good now that they got our guy,
Now they
huh?
got Vasilov.
Bastards.
That's kind of funny.
That is funny.
I'm
Yeah,
really
we'll kick
upset
their
that we
ass when it gets
play.
to it.
What?
So we'll kick their ass when we get to them.
That's true. I'm upset that we're playing Kansas City so early because I really wanted to like either go to a game in St. Louis against them or like make a trip to Kansas City over the summer.
Yeah.
But we play them on the seventh game day on April 5th and then on May 14th.
That's
And then we
it.
don't play them again. Yeah. because I don't think we don't play them 3 times this year for some reason,
That's odd.
which I don't like. I prefer getting to play them 3 times, but I'm wondering if maybe the schedule is kind of shifted now a little bit because San Diego's here, and so we have an extra like conference game that we have to play.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I don't know. I too would love to hit the punching bag a couple times, but I guess we're only getting Kansas City twice, huh? That sucks.
Yeah, we can only win twice this year.
2 wins, 28 ties.
How many points is that? Like 34?
34. Oh Lord. No,
Well,
we'll be fine. I just disappointed still.
2 steps forward, 1 step back, as they say. That's what they say, you know.
I guess. Feels like 2 steps forward, rolling down the hill backwards, but at least we're not losing. At least we're not losing.
I'll be really excited to see how we start doing in our home games. I
Yeah.
think we should honestly start thriving there. The next home games we have aren't looking that difficult, to be completely honest.
Well, you got
It,
Seattle.
we got Seattle, then we have Austin. Austin made some good moves, but they've never really been like
Yeah.
that good,
Right.
honestly. Then we've got Columbus. Columbus isn't bad by any means, um, but they lost Cucho Hernandez, like their greatest player last like in the offseason and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I think they're not in a rebuild because they're still really good. They have some like incredible players, but I think they're probably on like the downwards trend, honestly.
Okay. Well, Kansas City's
And
been in the
then
rebuild stage since they started, so I'm not too worried about that. Even if we
you
play
should watch
away.
the that show I was telling you about because they talk about there's this really funny moment. Johnny Russell, he was like their striker forever,
Right.
and they're like it's weird. I guess he's out in like a business golf thing with like the people who own the club or something for the show, and they're talking, and Johnny Russell calls St. Louis a shithole, and it kind of felt like he sort of was like hamming it up for the like show, like it felt kind of cringe. It was a little goofy,
Wow.
but a
Kansas
bunch of people
shitty,
I
more
saw
like.
it. I like that dude. That's good. A bunch of people on like the St. Louis like subreddit who were talking about it were like bringing that up, and I just thought it was so funny that everyone was talking about it.
That is funny.
It's like literally like one moment from the show that everyone was talking about.
Well, hopefully, the next time we meet the Beach Waffles, we won't tie them. We'll get a goal.
Waffles.
San Diego.
Where'd you come up with that? Is that
That was my buddy Anthony. He came up with that. I
pretty
didn't get
good?
it
I like
right
it.
away. I felt pretty dumb once he explained it to me.
I'm looking forward. We're gonna start doing better.
Yeah,
I'm sure of it.
I'm sure too.
Knock on wood.
I got no wood.
You get the 4.
Pretty sure it's laminate. But yeah, no, we're gonna be fine. It's the second game. I like to complain, and I hate seeing ties, especially after last year. But we'll be fine. All right. Well, I gotta get going. I'm starving. So,
Yeah, I need to go too. I need to start studying.
well, good luck.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
See you next week.